Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo. New Jersey, you guys. This is going to get pretty interesting now, isn't it? Today we are talking about the captain of the New Jersey Devils, Nico Hischier, and questions that have arisen as to where his future may lie. You see, there are some conversations that have been started from folks all over social media as to whether or not Hischier could be on the move, and which potential names could be heading back to Jersey if that's the case. But, of course, we can't say with any certainty that anybody's going to get traded or that anybody's going to get moved, especially a guy who is currently the captain of his NHL team. So, let's dive into the context, and then we'll go over where some of these ideas are coming from, all linked in the description below, too. So let's start things off here. Nico Hischier, 27 years old, 6'1", 201, left-handed center, and he was the first overall pick back in 2017. It's almost been a decade since Nico Hischier went first overall over Nolan Patrick. That's crazy. But Nico, in this spot of his career, is making $7.25 million a year till the end of 2027. He's got a pretty reasonable contract, and it was a long-term deal. I mean, he signed it forever ago. The entire 2020s has seen Nico Hischier make this amount of money, and for the most part, I think anybody can look at his numbers and say that he's been worth it. Hischier has been a point-per-game center once, essentially, 80 points in 81 games played back in 22-23. Over the next few seasons, he did dip in games played, but he was just under that point-per-game mark. This season, he's got 62 points in 79 games played, and is on pace for about 64 total points on the year itself. The Devils haven't really been great. You got Timo Meier, who was over there and not producing like a top power forward like he was supposed to be. Jack Hughes missed half the year because he cut his hand on a glass, and Jesper Bratt's really good too. So there are a number of issues that you can say New Jersey has had to deal with. Jesper Bratt is not one of them, by the way. I'm just wanting to give that guy some love. But with the fact that Nico Hischier's contract expires next season, comes a conversation as to where this guy's going to play next. He is one of the better two-way centers in the National Hockey League. And if you take a look at his overall regular season resume, he was a Selke Trophy finalist back in 2023. That was the season that he went out there with 80 points in 81 games. We've always kind of said that to get nominated or to win the Selke Trophy, you kind of have to produce a lot, and Nico Hischier, unfortunately, hasn't really been at the top of the peak when it comes to doing that over the past few seasons, aside that 80-point year. But with that said, I think people can comfortably say Nico Hischier is one of the best defensive centers in the league. He is very good, he is a leader, and New Jersey Devils fans love this guy. So leave it to Spectres Hockey from April 8th, 2026 to go out there and discuss what the future of Nico Hischier looks like, courtesy of a few articles that were posted by various NHL writers. I'll leave a link in the description to the Spectres Hockey article from 2 days ago. It talks about the latest on the New Jersey Devils. First, there was an article by Mike Morial on NHL.com that spoke about the 5 things on the to-do list for the next GM of New Jersey. There are some conversations on Hamilton and Nemec and Jacob Markstrom, and then there also is a conversation on Jack Hughes. You also have The Athletic. Peter Bowe believes determining if Sheldon Keefe returns as head coach will be among the decision the next Devils GM faces. And then you have yourselves this note. Bowe also noted the team captain and two-way center Nico Hischier will be eligible to sign a contract extension on July 1st. Figuring out his next deal will also be high on the list of things to do. With that said, there is another article that we can dive into as well. New Jersey Hockey Now's James Nichols believes Hischier was being non-committal when asked if he would sign an extension under a new GM. "I'm focusing on playing hockey here," Hischier said. "I still have 1 more year. I'm with the Devils right now, and then we'll see what happens." Oh my goodness, man. these comments right here, when I read them, my Canucks fan brain immediately thinks, that sounds eerily familiar. From the captain of a team who is heading into his contract extensionable year. I'm focused on playing hockey here. I'm with this team right now. We'll see what happens. I still got another year. This guy is pulling the old Quinn Hughes. Those are almost the exact same things that Quinn Hughes said in Vancouver. And then it became blatantly obvious months later that the guy had no intention of signing with the Vancouver Canucks and staying. So James Nichols going out there and writing that Hischier could potentially be feeling some similar things. Oh, that is interesting. The article says if there is any hesitancy about re-signing by Hischier, Nichols believes the next Devils GM must explore trade options. He suggested dangling Hischier to the Minnesota Wild for Quinn Hughes, or to the Ottawa Senators for Brady Tkachuk. Spector's note goes out there and says this: the Devils will be a team worth watching this offseason. It'll be interesting to see who they bring in as GM and whether they intend to tinker or make some bold moves. Hischier's future will be the biggest decision facing the next Devils GM. The 27-year-old center is among the best two-way players in the league, with a 10-team no-trade list and a cap hit of $7.25 for next year. Teams will line up to acquire Hischier if he becomes available in this summer's trade market. The Wild and Senators could certainly use him, but it's doubtful the former will part with Quinn Hughes or the latter with Brady Tkachuk. Now I can see it, actually. The Minnesota Wild have really opened themselves up and made themselves an attractive destination for Quinn Hughes. You can tell that the guy loves it there. They win, they flew him out in a private jet, they gave him a car, they did all this stuff. But the thing is, Minnesota doesn't have that contract extension in just yet. He signed on till the end of 2027. He's actually making a pretty similar amount of money to Nico Hischier, only $600,000 in the difference. But Quinn Hughes is in a spot where if there is one team that he might actually be okay to get traded to at this stage, maybe not like right now, but after the playoffs and before the draft, whatever, it might be New Jersey. If there is an opportunity on Quinn Hughes' lap that says, hey, we got this trade for a first-line center. We need a guy to come over here to play with Kaprizov and Boldy. Hischier is the guy, but you got to go to New Jersey. Are you willing to do that, Quinn? I honestly feel like there's a world where Quinn says he's okay with that. I know Brock Besser came out and spoke to the media saying that, Quinn cares more about winning than he cares about playing with his brothers. But I feel like if Quinn got that opportunity to play with Minnesota in this year's playoff run, let's say they win a cup. Or let's say they get eliminated in the first round. Or let's say they go to the third round. No matter how far they go, I feel like Quinn, if he gets that playoff taste this year, and especially if he wins, there probably is a high likelihood that he's okay to be like, yeah, I got my chip. Let's go to New Jersey. I can play with my brothers now. Meanwhile, you have Brady Tkachuk on an Ottawa Senators team that is so up and down, but also houses a fan base that I think is really starting to feel various things about this guy ever since the Olympics, ever since that podcast he started with his brother and the episode that he had with his dad. There are some elements to Brady Tkachuk's future that are not guaranteed in Ottawa, despite the fact that he is signed for the next few seasons. Brady Tkachuk could very well ask out in the same way that you've seen other Americans ask out. Quinn Hughes might have been the start of Brady and Matthews, both leaving their Ontario Canadian teams as well. They're also captains, after all. But for Nico Hischier, just going back to the main idea, the fact that he spoke out about his future in this way is so interesting to me. And I'm not necessarily saying that this automatically means that he wants out, but what I am saying is I've seen this before. And the last time we saw this, it was from a guy that ended up legitimately wanting nothing to do with the team that he was on in Vancouver, and that was Quinn Hughes himself. So if you're a Wild fan, if you're a Senators fan, if you're a Devils fan, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. How do you feel about the idea of Nico Hischier potentially getting moved for one of Quinn Hughes or Brady Tkachuk? Is it possible? Do you think it would go down this way? Do you think the next general manager would be forced to make a move like this? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed this video. Roll 9. And bye.